So let's talk about the self-made widow, because I have never rooted so hard for a divorce for fictional characters in my entire life. And I want to talk more in depth about some of the themes of this book versus what it's about. So this is the second book in a series. I'm not sure how long this author is going to keep going with it, but I'm having a great time. So you don't necessarily have to read the first book, but it does provide some very helpful context, but you can start here if you want to. So essentially we have our main character who goes by Andy. She is a stay-at-home mom of now 5, and she works with this up-and-coming reporter kind of. He's had a rough start. He's trying to get his career back in order, and they're solving crime, right? And this particular book focuses on a crime that hits a little bit close to home for Andy, because it's one of her friends who maybe killed her husband. And the big thing about this book that I like a lot is that it uses some dark comedy here to focus on the themes of why you're doing what you're doing, because Andy is living the perfect American life. She lives in a richer suburb. Her kids go to private school. All her friends are other stay-at-home moms with men who have great jobs. And this book hits hard on how this perfect life affects all the characters, because the men are not happy, the women are not happy, and yet they keep doing the things they're supposed to do. And it keeps making their lives worse. Instead of doing the things that actually make them happy, working jobs they want, just downsizing their lives because capitalism, instead they just keep feeding the machine, and it takes them all into various stages of distress. Another thing is, Andy is married to her husband, whose name I don't remember, because it doesn't matter. He was awful. But what I love about how awful that character is that he feels so real. Like how Gaston from Beauty and the Beast, he's frightening because you've met Gaston. Her husband is that econ finance bro who is just what's the big deal? I'm making money while committing crimes. Even in this book, he's basically on probation for his first set of financial crimes, and then he's committing more crimes. But somehow he finds it in himself to be mad at his wife because he's doing all this for her. So how dare she get mad at him for committing crimes when it's, I bought the house with this money, the cars, and sure, we have 5 kids and you didn't want 5 kids, and I didn't want to get a vasectomy and I didn't want to wear a condom, but you didn't stop me any other way. You were here with me through every step of the malfeasance that got us here. And she's like, no, I actually wasn't. And you don't get to be mad at me for all that. So anywho, love this book. Listen to it on audio. I also have a physical copy. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's a trip.